Tell me about what is Route exactly, just what is Route, and then what is Route Marketplace?
We all, for whatever reason, we're crazy. We love cleaning. We love just the act of cleaning, the diversification of cleaning, the different things you see, the challenges, the opportunities. This is a bid platform to help contract cleaners do walkthroughs to the point of estimates to the point of proposals. So it's really trying to pull together different tools that will help commercial contract cleaners, people that are fully into it, whether you're a $100 million company or you're just starting off, help them kind of step through and make the transition to start making money and start building a company that they'll be proud of. This is going to be a tool to basically allow you to see opportunities that you've never seen before and actually participate in those opportunities. This is going to be a way for you to grow your business.
Wow. Yeah, man, that's great. So I tell you what, why don't we go ahead and jump into that demo now? You can kind of give us a first-hand look of what we can expect here. What's up, y'all? AJ Simmons again, back with another great interview for you guys. I am the cleaning business GOAT, and today's guest was actually invited on because they have something huge for the cleaning industry called Route Marketplace. And I think it'll bring great value to my audience. So because it's gonna provide, actually, I won't even tell you what it'll do. I'm gonna let this guy tell you more about it once he comes on. But this platform will be a great way for you to get yourself in the door with a lot of contracts that a lot of smaller companies won't be able to get themselves. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and bring my guest on right now. So please welcome from Route, the Vice President of Strategic Partnerships, Mr. Jack Ellison. What's up, Jack?
What is up, AJ? Honor, man. You're GOAT. I love it.
Absolutely. So without further ado, if you just don't mind, because actually before we do that, this is what I want to do. I want to get straight into this first. Tell me about what is Route exactly, just what is Route, and then what is Route Marketplace?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me on the podcast. I love you. I've watched you for a while. You are one of the good guys in the industry. I'm going to tell you that, AJ.
Thank you.
There's a lot of BS out there. I'm sure your CBN networks gets a lot of calls, a lot of emails, a lot of videos on Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. But you are one of the good guys. So I appreciate what you're doing for the industry. I appreciate what you're doing for your network, and keep at it, brother. That's what I say first.
Appreciate that.
That said, what Route is, Route is at a 30,000 foot level. Route is a company that was formed out of the passion of cleaning. We all, for whatever reason, we're crazy. We love cleaning. We love just the act of cleaning, the diversification of cleaning, the different things you see, the challenges, the opportunities. But Route is an umbrella that's providing tools and resources. You know, some of the things that we have under our overall umbrella is we have Route Bid, which is a bid platform to help contract cleaners do walkthroughs to the point of estimates to the point of proposals. We have tools that for the janitorial store. That's a new acquisition we had last year that we're part of the janitorial store, my house cleaning biz. So what we're doing from Route as an umbrella is really trying to pull together different tools that will help commercial contract cleaners, people that are fully into it, whether you're a $100 million company or you're just starting off, help them kind of step through and make the transition to start making money and start building a company that they'll be proud of.
That's what's up. I love it. Now, we talked about, okay, what is Route and all of that, but let's talk about who is Jack, right? Because I checked your LinkedIn profile and I saw a lot of notable company names. I saw some great positions here. So if you want to just kind of take your time a bit and just highlight, you know, like down a list a bit, like some of the positions you've held, some of the companies you work for, just to give everybody a background of who exactly we're speaking to here.
Yeah, well, I'm a small town Texas boy, first of all. So I grew up in a small town called Buffalo, Texas, of all places. 1,500 people. One stoplight I think we had after I graduated high school, but went to Texas A&M, studied landscape architecture of all things. And I thought I wanted to be a big designer, you know, building big golf course communities and all that good stuff. And they told us, AJ, when we got out of school, or before we got into the school, that if you wanted to make money, don't get into landscape architecture. And I said, oh, that's not true. And basically went through about 5 years worth of college on that, worked my butt off, got out, and they were right. You couldn't make any money. So I got sucked in just because I couldn't make any money being a landscape architect. I got sucked into property management. So I was one of the property managers that were walking through managing the contracts with contract cleaners. And that led to around 2000 an opportunity that about the same time the internet really started taking off. I'm dating myself now, but got into a startup company out of Austin, Texas, that was basically providing supplies in one central point for some large commercial real estate. And what happened out of that is these large properties, 25, I think it was back then, 25% or 25 cents of every dollar they spent was on janitorial supplies, whether it be services or janitorial supplies. And by default, I got sucked into this vortex of cleaning, and I really enjoyed it. And I started going with that. And we took that startup company to about 100 million. It was called Site Stuff. It's called Yardy now. But we got that to about 100 million in sales in 5 years. And that was just fast and furious. I moved from Texas up to New England, where I live now.
Okay.
And I really gravitated toward the cleaning side of the business. And shortly thereafter, I got recruited by Spartan Chemical, which was a great move. And never thought I'd be selling chemicals, going from landscape architecture, everything's green friendly, to, selling chemicals. And we're out there, putting stuff on floors that people balk at and all this stuff. But Spartan was a great organization and just really taught me the business and really expanded my network across the industry. And I just further, whatever reason, I fell in love with it as well. And I was there for a little over 10 years. And I left there because I was traveling about 200 nights a year in hotels and just doing that, grinding every day. And thoroughly, I enjoyed every minute of it. But my kids were getting older. And fast forward, I decided to leave there. And I took a gig with Eastern Bag and Paper out of New England, which was about a $200 million family-owned distribution company for janitorial supplies. So still in the business, and rode that, and Imperial Date ended up purchasing those folks. And I decided to kind of part ways and kind of get back into my roots because my kids were getting a little older, and got into another startup chemical company out of New Jersey. And this guy named that Ricardo, knocked on my door one day because we had met, because I was trying to do a podcast on the manufacturer side of the business. But he knocked on my door and said, "Hey, man, we're building this pretty cool thing. I think you'd like it." I go, "Well, tell me more." And Ricardo, he spoke at the event. He's smooth as can be. He's a goat too on that as well.
For sure.
He sucked me over here and goes, "Man, we're building this thing. We need you." I go, "All right, let's do it." So I ended up coming to Route about a year and a half ago, and I haven't looked back, and it's been a ride. We're trying to get this company off the ground with Marketplace, which we'll talk about. But I've basically been in the janitorial business for the last 25 years, and guys like you I look up to, and you just got a lot of good people in this business. And I think what I like about it, the good people like you share their knowledge. They don't hold on to it. They want to share, because we want to take this industry, to a whole nother level. And that's what I appreciate about you. That's what I appreciate about Ricardo. And I think that's what people are going to appreciate, what Route's trying to do overall, especially with Marketplace.
For sure. I love it. So we brought up Ricky, right? And you spoke about how basically he came to you, and if you experienced him, we all know what you mean, right?
Yeah.
So with that said, though, you got a great background yourself, and you work for some large companies. Route is up and coming, right? So it's like, what gave you what made you trust to come do this company after such an experience that you had?
I think like you and like anybody that's at the end of the day, I'm fine in certain phases of my life. Seasons, life, and I'm getting philosophical, but life is like a bunch of seasons. But there's certain seasons in your life that you can take a little more risk. And I saw that more in my earlier career, and I saw that more in my later career now that my kids are out of school. I can start moving on. But I like to build things. And I'm sure you're the same way. The folks that you're in your network, they don't want to just go to a job and just clock in and clock out, but they want to build something that they can be proud of and say, "This is mine." And it's that part of that grind. If you're going to grind, you might as well grind for yourself, not grind for, the man. And I think that's what Ricky kind of said to me. "Listen, this is something we're building together. We're going to give you a little bit of stake in this thing. And if you do really what we think you can do, there's more opportunity than you've ever thought." And I go, "Listen, I could take the safe route, take a nice salary." That's the thing too to think about is there's two fears of any entrepreneur, especially when you're starting off a company, is a steady paycheck. It's like a drug. People walking around from that steady paycheck, that's hard. And then just fear. And I think those two things, I said, you know what? I'm not worried about the paycheck anymore. I'll make the paycheck. But what I want to do is do something that I'm passionate about, something I care about, something I think I can help the industry and help others, achieve their goals as well.
I like it. Now, I want to go back to Route Marketplace, because I basically want to know, who exactly is it for? Because my understanding is basically a platform for subcontractors to meet prime contractors. I think that's just a general explanation of it, but who exactly is it for? Who should sign up for it?
I'll say this, AJ, if there's anyone ever who's watching this, if there's one takeaway from this is going to be a way for you to grow your business. I don't care. And it's not going to cost you anything. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a tool to basically allow you to see opportunities that you've never seen before and actually participate in those opportunities. Now, I can't guarantee you're going to win opportunities. I can't pretend you're going to be invited to every opportunity. But what Route Marketplace is doing, man, is there are contractors across the United States, and we'll show a demo of this, but there's contractors across the United States. I just had one other day in Arizona. They didn't have a presence there. This is a $500 million company came to us because we're testing this right now. We're starting to get it ramped up. They came to me and said, listen, we've got 25 medical clinics that need 5-day-a-week service in Arizona. It was in pretty much Prescott and then Phoenix.
Okay.
And they were saying, we're not there, but we need a quality contractor that we can trust, that has the insurance, is business ready, that we can get in there within the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
All of a sudden, what I reached out to is people on our platform and said, hey, listen, we've got this opportunity to connect you with a contractor that is with work, that's looking for you, that can do work. Yeah. And all of a sudden, marriage made in heaven.
Right.
Contractor prime. If you don't know what that means somebody who owns the contracts, owns the relationships, are looking for a subcontractor, someone to do that work because they're not in that market. Right. All of a sudden, it's like a dating app. We just connected the two and said, hey, listen, is this a good fit? They go, yeah, it's a good fit. Let's go. Boom. Off to the races they went.
Hey, that's perfect. And when Ricky spoke at my last conference, at Clean Business Network conference, he said, that was the first time I heard y'all say it in that way, where it's like a dating app. Not sure when y'all started and realized that, but that's the perfect way to describe it. Like, it makes
that's because I'm a loser. I'm dating again, but that's a whole different episode. But in theory, this is the way people should look at it. It's not hard to find one-on-one. What I mean is that if someone's in New York City and they're looking for somebody in LA, it's not hard to find one contractor. The reality is, because what you'll do is you go, okay, here's the zip code of where the account is. Okay. It's like dating. I know it's a bad analogy, but in order to find one good contractor, you're going to have to go through 5 contractors to vet it down to one, because you don't know who it is. If I go on Google and look at LA, let's say Los Angeles contract cleaners at this XYZ zip, all I can see is they have a website, a telephone number. Most likely I can find the email. Maybe sometimes I can't, but we're taking it to a whole nother level. We're going to actually ask you. And again, this is a takeaway and it takes 5 minutes. But if you would go in and put your profile in, and we'll leave a link for this thing, we're going to ask you, when were you founded? What size company are you revenue wise? And again, we do ranges from 0 to 500, 500 to $1.5 million, on down, on up. We ask you, are you any certifications? Do you have any classifications? Minority, woman owned, all of this stuff we're asking. It's like 100 data fields we ask, and it's not all that hard. What services do you provide? What days? What hours? But that profile now, if you think about it, when we start getting this map up, and we'll show it, these prime contractors can now come in and say, listen, I'm looking for this. And they say, here are the 20 fields I'm looking for. All of a sudden, these zip codes, and again, it's easy. Yeah. But we had that client, for example, drop 25 zip codes in. Within 30 seconds, we gave them back, here are the best 5 contractors that fit those criteria.
Nice.
So all of a sudden, if you got a great profile and you put it in there, people are going to find you. Maybe you don't have a website, put the profile in. We want to be that website. But think about that connection. If I can dial in exactly what I'm looking for, and these primes, if you got to keep this in mind too, to go out and think about this, to go out and find 25 zip codes or 25 locations and find at least 4 to 5 contractors the old way of just going through the system, it's a 3-day job. Now we can do it in 30 seconds.
Wow. Yeah,
think about this too, and I'm not trying to sell this, but I get excited about this. But think about this. What if we came back to your CBN network and they were all in the system? Yep. We came back to each of those folks and said, listen, we can tell you why you're not winning business. And they go, what do you mean? Well, we can tell you what people are searching for that you didn't qualify for. So all of a sudden someone goes, I haven't seen any leads coming through for Marketplace. What if we can go back and say, listen, we see you don't work from midnight to 7 a.m. That might be an option. You might say, you know what, I'm willing. I got people can do that. Or maybe it's, hey, we don't do solar panel cleaning. Or, hey, we don't do this type of account. But we go back and say, hey, listen, what if we tell you why you didn't get invited to opportunities? And all of a sudden now you look at your business and going, wow, we should get training. We should get AJ to show us how to get into that business. Yeah. That knowledge is powerful. So the playing field, man, is going to be leveled like it's never before, because these prime contractors, they don't care if you're $100,000 or you're $10 million. What they want to know is someone that can communicate and can do a good job, is going to represent them well. Ricky probably told the story. He knows a contract cleaner's got $1 million, $2 million worth of subcontract work.
Wow. Yeah, man, that's great. So I tell you what, why don't we go ahead and jump into that demo now? You can kind of give us a first-hand look of what we can expect here.
So we're in August right now. We're looking at a October launch phase. Right now, what we're doing is we're asking companies to complete their profile. And again, it takes 5 minutes. But you go in there and you just fill out some information about what your company does. But I want you to look at this. As we zoom in, you'll start to see these little blue dots come up. So we're looking at Texas right now. And what you see, these little blue dots, each one of these blue dots is a contract cleaner. Mm-hmm. As we go across the United States, what we are looking to do, and some of these folks are already in the system, but they just don't know they're in the system. So what we're looking for them to do is come in and complete the profile. If you see that you're not on the map, your dot will go on the map as soon as you complete the profile. But as soon as you complete the profile, then what we're capturing is, as you'll see here, here's 360 Atlanta. We will start to capture information. So we'll have the COI, the W-9, we'll have the industries associations, we'll have the types of services, we'll have the account types, the industries your services, we'll have information about the company up here as well. So all of this, when we start to collect this is what will tie into the filter. And again, this filter is version 1. We'll have a more proper versions. Yeah. But this is where the primes will come in and go, I'm looking for a company between 1 and 10, 11 to 50. I'm looking for a non-union. I'm looking for, they're open to subcontract opportunities. They're willing to do service these following days. And when you start to fill this filter out, and you start to then put the zip codes in, that's where things start coming back. And all of a sudden, a company that would never been recognized, never been noticed maybe by a prime is right there on the top of the list.
Come on.
So again, we're looking to roll this thing out. And the biggest ask we have right now, AJ, man, is those companies that, I don't care how big you are, if you're looking for business, there's no cost to it. All you got to do is click on the link, fill your profile out. My commitment from being the guy that's kind of quarterbacking all of these conversations going on is, if you fill your profile out, I will include you on every opportunity that comes into that market. And, the next evolution we're going to do is you'll start waking up in the morning, rolling over out of bed, flipping on Marketplace is our hope. And all of a sudden you're going to say, well, I'm in Indiana, Indianapolis, and you'll start seeing little dots pop up that show opportunities. So maybe you weren't invited to that opportunity, but maybe if you look at the opportunity, you take a little deeper dive into it, you'll say, you know what, I want to go after that.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, we become a virtual salesperson for you just by showing opportunities around your market.
Nice. So it's not just an invite-only opportunity type of deal. They can also always apply, even if they just see it on the platform.
That's the initial thing to get this thing going. Now, over time, you'll hear the term like open bids and closed bids. I'd be a contractor says, listen, I'm going to make this a closed bid only, invite only. But a lot of times these contractors goes, I don't know who's in Columbus. I'm just going to make it open. Let's see who comes in. And again, we'll probably have some requirements that if you have to have certain, if they're looking for somebody that's a minority, woman-owned, vet-owned, looking somebody that can, K through 12, we'll probably say you can't swing at it. But we'll come back to you eventually and say, you missed 5 opportunities this last month because you didn't have this. And all of a sudden you start making business decisions on training, education, certification, whatever it may be.
Love it. And speaking of, not having certain certifications or not being chosen for opportunity, for example, my next question would be, because I'm sure the audience is wondering this right now, well, what are the pre-qualifications to join? I know you said it's free to join, but is there anything that somebody has to even get on the platform?
No, I think just standard. We like to use the term business ready.
Okay.
So do you have a W-9? Do you have a COI? And then finally, do you have a company logo? And then if you do, you have those 3 documents with the company profile, you're in the system. And at that point, when you start to light up that you went through and completed the profile, that's where we start to try to match you with opportunities, or at least bring you opportunities that you wouldn't have seen otherwise.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, what about for the primes? Because while the majority of my audience is more small to mid-sized companies, we get some big guys that, don't mind watching a little AJ Simmons here and there, right? So what if somebody wanted to join the platform and, become a prime on the platform? Like, how would they go about doing that? So
the conversation between prime and subs, and this is where I want your listeners to really kind of think about as well. Just because you're a sub one day doesn't mean you can be a prime the other day, right? Just because you're a prime one day doesn't mean you can be a sub. The way I look at it, AJ, is you're kind of both at the same time. And the way I look at it is that prime is basically, I want you to think about this. That prime coming on the platform is we're going to have a different level structure. So if you're going to go out and search and post contracts,
Mhm.
there's going to be a certain price number. We're talking like $350 a month, but the higher level for the big guys that are posting hundreds of contracts, it'll be a little higher. But reach out to me. We can go through the pricing with this. Right now, we're trying to kind of figure out what it goes, because right now what we want to do is just get the ball rolling and show people this works. Because I didn't know this, but we went through a study, and maybe, I don't know if you know this, but to find one contractor as a subcontractor, how much do you think it costs to go through that whole process from the point of I've got a contract in Indianapolis that I need to fill, identifying that to the point it's closed. How much dollars and time and effort do you think it costs to get one contract filled?
I have no idea.
It's around $385 is the ballpark. Okay. That's the low end. Now, if you got a $200,000 purchasing agent, it's going to be a hell of a lot higher. Okay. But what we're looking at doing is, like, what I would encourage your folks to do, the primes, is that even the subs, even just your listeners, yes, if you've got the relationship, that's gold, man. Yeah. Let's just say you have a restaurant chain with 10 restaurants in your market, and that restaurant comes to you and says, hey, listen, we're going to 25 states. You got 3 decisions. You say no, you say, yep, I'm gonna have to open offices in each of those locations, which is not a good business decision. Right. Or you can come back and say, hey, I got Route Marketplace. I can find within 30 seconds to 5 minutes, probably take me 15 minutes to pull something. They can find me 5 companies in each of those markets, and I will take those 5, post the contract, and I will find someone that's like me. And we use the word like-minded, because there's someone just like you, AJ, someone just like your listeners in every market. You just don't know who they are. Thanks. And we want to connect them. But all of a sudden, I want to say that again, though. But if your clients or your network has a relationship with someone that says we're in 20 other markets, start exploring that relationship, because at the end of the day, that's how Ricardo grew his company. Is he started subcontracting. The next thing you know, he's in 40 states or some crazy number like that. And he maintains relationship. And people say, well, I'll have headaches. You're going to have headaches with employees. You're going to have headaches with subcontractors. The key is to find people just like you.
Yeah, I love it. So now, here's the other hiccup. I know I got people too that watch my channel, and they might come along and say, well, I don't want to be a sub. I don't want to do the subcontracting thing. I need the whole pie. I don't want a piece of the pie. So if you could just kind of clear that up about, the misunderstanding that possibly might exist there with the people thinking that they have to own every contract that they have.
I think own where you can. Yeah. But I think the reality is, guess what? Unless you're in every state in the United States, you're never going to own every opportunity that's multi-state, multi-units. That's a reality. Someone's going to, I don't care. We've got some of the biggest companies talking to us now that they're not in every state. And these are $200 million companies, right? The other obstacle we get is like, I don't, is the reduced margin. I don't make enough money. And I look at it this way. Listen, you hear about these VC firms, these venture capitalists, right? Do you think they take every deal that comes across their desk?
No.
What do? What they like is the ability to look at a deal, right? Okay. Now, they'll probably say no to 95% of them, but I'd ask your listeners, would you rather say just, I don't want to see anything? Or would you rather say, show me every deal you got? I'll make a business decision what's good for me, good for my business. I'm all about that. I'd rather sit there and say, you know what? I don't have to hire a salesperson. I'm going to have a steady stream of 20 deals coming across my plate every month. Maybe it's only subcontracts, but I've got 20 deals coming across. Yeah. I can look at them. I can make decisions. Once I get to a certain level, I hire a sales rep. And then I got a combination of a sales rep, but also marketplace feeding deals across my plate. So I want to look at those deals because they can look at it within 5 minutes saying yay or nay, and move on.
Great perspective, Jack. I appreciate that. What I'm going to do now, because you've been killing this, by the way, I'm ready to sign up immediately myself. I probably already own that, though. So, bam, we're going to do lightning round real quick. We have some fun and let the audience get to know a little bit more about Jack. So, the way it works is I'm going to say a word or a phrase, and you just tell me the first thing that comes to mind, all right?
Is cussing allowed?
Absolutely. I cuss all the time. You're welcome. All right, first word is going to be Texas.
Texas, home, miss it.
Okay. Next one will be, well, I was going to do, because I had New York and Chicago up here, according to my research, but you said Texas and New England, so I'll say New England.
New England, I would say great summers, not too hot, not too cool.
Gotcha. All right. Next one is going to be the cleaning industry.
I love it because of the people.
Nice. Okay. Social media.
I don't like it for my kids, but it educates me every little day a little bit differently, whether good or bad.
Same. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Which social media platform do you spend the most time on for leisure?
Instagram, but I'm starting to gravitate to X. I think X is pretty interesting these days, but Instagram right now.
Okay, you surprised me with that one. Okay, and so I was Instagram, and I actually migrated. I like being on X because I'm nobody there, and I can just, you know what I mean? All right, cool. What else we got? Something you wish you knew sooner about life or business.
I think I wish I would have spent more time focusing on. I think I'm a pretty good sales guy now, marketing guy now, but I think sales and marketing, because anyone, and I don't mean this disrespectful, anyone can clean. Yeah. But if I look at that map I showed you guys, 90% of those have challenges with marketing and sales. And I think if I had to redo everything, I would just go crazy about sales and marketing because I can figure out the cleaning part of it. I think the sales and marketing, that's the hard thing for some people to do. And I think it's just getting out of your comfort zone, quite honestly. That's a long answer, but dude, you live once, YOLO, right? You only live once. Go all in, man. Go all in with the marketing and sales and have fun with it, because that's my old boss told me this, AJ. I love this. Nothing happens until a sale is made. Think about that. You don't buy a car. You don't hire somebody. You don't get a software package. Nothing happens until a sale's made. And I think if more people thought about that, we could all be busy. You ain't selling nothing, though. Nothing starts. You ain't paying. You ain't making your employees' life better. You're not making your life better. It all starts with a sale.
1,000%. Love that. Love that. All right. Next one I got for you. Favorite book.
Favorite book. I'm doing this Chris Voss book. I don't know if you got that, but it's FBI. He's an FBI negotiator. I do the audio books.
Okay. Phenomenal. Yeah, me too.
Phenomenal. He's giving like ninja tricks, man. If you get a chance, download the audio and listen to some of these tricks for marketing and sales. This guy is like a beast. He will show you some tricks that you can do some mind games with.
Yeah.
With your clients and prospects. Hell, I use it on my kids, and my kids are like, they're good kids, but man, they're really good now. I got this ninja trick going on.
Right. I love it. I'm going to have to look down. FBI by Chris Voss.
Chris Voss, yes.
Got it. Perfect. All right. Next one. Favorite YouTube channel or podcast? Other than mine. You know, I have to.
Other than yours? There's this one, like, I got a 12-year-old, my youngest. And he's found this YouTube channel, man, that they go out and find these abandoned houses, and they walk through them like these mansions. I'm talking like some crazy big houses, and they're walking through them, and there's stuff still there. They went through Will Smith's house the other day, like some house he just abandoned, and they went through Dolly Parton's house and Kenny Rogers, and there's these houses in England, but you got to look that up. Abandoned houses, abandoned mansions, and they walk through these houses, and there's stuff still in these houses. I'm talking like cars still in these mansions. It's crazy. So it just opened your eyes that the wealth, but they're just empty, but they got a lot of stuff in them still, which makes no sense to me.
It's crazy. Okay, fair enough. Next one I got for you is Clean Biz Network.
I think what you're doing is pure. That's the best way to say it. You are a GOAT. I think what you're doing is the right intention, man. You care, and I'll dare say this, you care more about your network than you do your own personal self. I see that clear as day. And I appreciate that, because there's a lot of BS out there right now. A lot of BS.
And, I definitely question my own sanity sometimes because of that, but I'm going to keep doing what I put here to do.
You keep doing what you're doing, that love's going to come back to you. I guarantee tenfold.
Thank you. All right, next one. Favorite hobby when you got some free time?
I like to build things. So I'm freaking this marketplace. I was 12 hours a day. If I don't do that, then my kids are taking me out, and we're just kind of just goofing off. We're going on adventures, man. It's no agenda. It's just going out and just spending time together. So I would say spending time with my kids is kind of my downtime.
Yeah, I can relate to that a lot. Next one would be best decision you've ever made in business.
Best decision I ever did in business. I don't want to sound gratifying for this, but it was, and everybody who knows who's been an entrepreneur, at 55, where I am now, jumping ship and leaving a job, taking a half pay cut and coming to route, I think is the best decision, because it got me out of my safety net. It's my safety zone, my comfort zone. And I don't know about you, but if it gets too mundane, it gets kind of boring. And I think this is as much as I've had some great highs in my career, I'm more proud of this right now, just taking the risk, both financially and just not knowing if this thing's going to take off. But what we've seen in the last 2 months we built, I'm all in, man. I'm all in.
That's what's up. I love it. All right. And the last one for the lightning round would be your top 5 entrepreneurs I guess I won't do all time. Just right now, your favorite top 5 entrepreneurs.
You got to keep Jeff Bezos in there because he's just a badass, even though he's a geek or younger. But what he's built is just insane.
Yeah,
I think Elon Musk, of course. Those are the 2 that kind of come to the top of mind. I'll throw my dad in there. He's long gone, but my dad was a country lawyer and just he made things happen at the local level. So I still look back on what he was doing at a microscopic level. So I still look up to him.
Okay.
At the end of the day, money has a certain level of success, but I'm those entrepreneurs I have, it's just the ideas, it's the concepts. Elon Musk doesn't give a crap about money. He cares about the vision and what he's building. And I think a true entrepreneur, it's not about the money. It's about that journey. It's about the grind. How many times have you seen people win the lottery, end up they're dead a month later because they're just unhappy, or 3 months later because they're unhappy? And I think if you ever take me out of the grind, I'm probably going to go into the ground pretty quickly because I just enjoy it. It's the journey. It's not the destination.
1,000%. I love it. All right. Now that wraps up the lightning round. I got a couple of more questions for you. Not many, but here's one. So if you lost every single thing you have right now, every penny you got, but you get to keep all of the knowledge that you have, what would you do to get back to the point that you are today?
I wouldn't go back to. I never go backwards and never backtrack. I'll say that. That's probably not good for relationships, but I never go backwards and forwards. But if I had the option, I would probably do. And I've always been jealous of people who took that risk in their 20s and their 30s.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably go back and say, you know what, I'm going to start my own company because I think I'm going to get philosophical here. And I heard this on Instagram, and I loved it. But life is kind of like juggling 4 balls, right? And those 4 balls are your career. It's your family, it's your faith, and your health.
Yep.
Now, the 3 of those balls, your health, your faith, and your family, is like a glass ball. If you drop one of those, it's going to crack or break.
Right.
Guess what? Your career, let's say you started in your 20s, in your 30s, you start a business, and you drop it, it's like a rubber ball. It's going to bounce back. You're going to find a job.
Yeah.
But if you drop those other 3, you're going to crack it, you're going to break it, and it's hard to recover from those glass balls. So what I would say is I would go back and say, and I knew what I knew now, I would be doing what 95% of your listeners are doing, is starting their own thing. I wouldn't go all in and get stupid with buying all this equipment and say, I'm going to get a carpet cleaning, I'm going to do this or that.
Yeah.
I would be like, I'm broke and I'm going to hustle, I'm going to bootstrap this thing and I'm going to get it off the ground, and I'm going to act broke even after I made money, because some of the best people I've met, they have their high moments. They go out and live large every once in a while, but for the most part, you think they're broke when you see them, and all of a sudden they come around and they roll up in that nice car, and you go to their house to visit them, and you go, holy crap, this guy's got a nice house.
Yeah.
So I think I would do what your listeners are doing and just go out there, because I think this market is ripe for opportunity. But you gotta, 2 things I'd say: you gotta communicate, you gotta get your juggling priorities in line, and know if you screw up, guess what? That's part of learning. And if you screw up, as long as you didn't go in debt, crazy debt, you'll find another opportunity. You'll find something to get through it. If you're a hustler, if you're an entrepreneur, you'll find a way to get through it. And that's part of the climb. It's part of the journey.
It's part of it. All right. Now, one I always ask this towards the end of all of my interviews. If someone's watching this video right now and they're actually afraid to make that jump into entrepreneurship, you just kind of hinted at it, then what advice would you give to that person?
You ain't got to go all in. Take one job on the weekend. I regretted that in my 20s. I go, hell, I was working, 60 hours a week. I still had 20 hours. I was single. I didn't have anything to do.
Yeah.
I didn't have a family. Go find a job. Say, hey, do you like this? And all of a sudden you start looking at that one job and go, man, I made $1,000 on this. I get 10 more jobs like this. What's that do to my lifestyle? Again, that drug is a constant paycheck. It's going to hold you there forever. But guess what? That constant paycheck, it ain't going to go up like you're running your own business. Todd Hopkins with Office Pride told me this once. He goes, the highest high of a business owner, the lowest low of a business owner is still higher than the highest high of someone that works for somebody. Yeah. I'll say it again. The lowest low of a business owner, the lowest low, like your worst day, is still higher than somebody who works for somebody else.
Man.
Because at the end of the day, it's going to be tough, but guess what? It's my business. I control my destiny, not someone else. And I think that's what your listeners, I think they know that, they see that, they feel that. They got to remind themselves of that too.
There you go. That hits home so hard because first of all, shout out to Todd Hopkins. He wrote a book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he sent it. I don't know how I got it, but it came to my office one day, and I just put it up, and I thank him for that because I never met him. I don't know him, but thank you. So shout out to Todd. But I was going to say, so it definitely crosses my mind even to this day to just like, fuck it, I'm going to get a job. It's a lot, it's exhausting. But when I look back of all of the things that I'm doing, and I would always tell this to my ex, I always be like, listen, even at my worst, it's more than, what it could be or what it has been in the past or what, you know what I mean? So it's just like remembering that always will keep you going forward. It's nothing that can compare to the freedom, in my opinion. So yeah.
No, the freedom. And I think too, talk through this too, but maybe you see it as well, but you can't fall on your shoulders. You as a good leader, as a good owner, an entrepreneur, you got to start to delegate. You got to let go of certain things. And it's hard, man. It's hard to let go because you get in habits. And I'm a creature habit. I got to do this. If I don't do it, someone's gonna screw it up. Yeah. But I've talked to so many people we do coaching with, and I said, find 30 minutes that you can let go a week. Boom, yeah. They do it. I go, what happened? I go, why are you? First of all, I go, why are you scared of letting go? And they go, well, this, and this. And there's a guy out there, Tim Ferriss. Okay. You gotta look him up.
Yep. His book saved my life, especially when I was like in the field grinding and stuff. Yeah, for sure.
But he talks about fear setting. I would encourage your listeners to do this as well. But every time they can't let go of something, every time they don't want to do something, write down the 20 things that they're scared of.
Yeah.
And then do it. And then watch what happens. You don't stupid about how you do it, but go into it with a plan. But those 20 things that you were scared, pull that list out a month later after you've done it, and you'll go through and you'll say, you know what? Only about 1 or 2 of those 20 things actually came true. So right. we talk ourselves out of this because our mind by nature is negative. So we talk ourselves out of this stuff, and all of a sudden you go, well, if every time I think of something the worst can happen, only 5% is going to happen, I'll plan for that 5%, and it won't happen. So go with that, man, because I think that's the worst thing we can do. We got to get out of our head, and you got to let go of some things. Again, let go of it smart and put those processes in place. I'll leave you with this too. Here's 2 thoughts. Mm-hmm. How long, Chick-fil-A, right?
Yep.
I heard this stat the other day. Maybe I get it wrong, but it's pretty close. What do they say? What do they say at Chick-fil-A when they do something nice? What do they say?
They say my pleasure.
How long do you think it took Chick-fil-A to get that one phrase across all their branches?
I don't know. It's probably a while though.
7 years.
Yeah.
That simple one thing took 7 years. And I'm telling you that because change is hard. So, start change today because it's going to take a little time. But if you get that right change, you get those processes and put in place. The second thing I'll leave with Chick-fil-A that I love is Chick-fil-A is pretty stringent. You only get one store. But I heard this story from this one guy. He's telling me, this one guy, I forget who it was, maybe it was George, I forget where it was, but he has 2 or 3 stores, but his litmus test, if he can take on another store, and I think Chick-fil-A holds into this, don't quote me on this, but I heard this and it sounded right, is that if he can walk away from his business for 30 days and it still operates, if not grows, he can take on more work. And I would ask your listeners, how many of those could walk away from your business today? Probably none. But that should be your goal, that I can walk away for 30 days and the business is going to run. It's not going to go down. If anything, it's going to go up. And I think if you're thinking like that, you're putting those processes in place that you don't have to be there. That's a beautiful thing. Because all of a sudden now, what are you doing? You're working on the business, not in the business, right? Yeah. And that's where you start being broad thinking, like marketplace. Because I'll go back to that. But man, your listeners don't sign up for this. Shame on them because it's no cost. It's a passive income. I'll say this too. I've heard some guys, AJ, I'm talking way too much, but
no, you're doing good. This is great.
Some guys go, well, I don't make as much margin. Well, there's 2 things. First of all, if you're going to get somebody to go out and sell it for you, you're going to pay marketing, right? Indirectly. Yeah. You're going to pay a sales rep commission, right? All of a sudden, somebody brings you an opportunity. Okay, it's only 20%. Maybe it's only 15. Maybe it's 25. You're used to 40. Yep. You didn't pay the 10% commission. You're not paying for the marketing. It's just given to you. The second thing, and Ricky made this point, I didn't think about this, is that, man, I don't know how to clean medical facilities. I know how to clean, but this contractor says, hey, listen, I still like what I see in you. We'll teach you. All of a sudden now you're getting paid to get trained on how to do something you don't do. All of a sudden now on your profile, you check that box that we do medical clinics. We check that box, we can do solar panel. We check that box, we can do all these other things as well. So there's so much opportunity with just opening your mind and just saying, let's see what comes out of this whole marketplace tool, and kind of letting the industry talk to each other for the first time. Because I'm not a big fan of the Facebook groups of, oh, I got a contract. Those are people trying to take advantage of you, quite honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong though.
There's no real vetting process. There's no real structure. I mean, and again, I don't want to bash anybody, but I can agree with you when you say that. So with that said, I'm going to segue to my next one, which is where I want to ask you, if you guys don't mind, could you repeat again? I'll have the link in the comments as well as the description of this video and podcast. But where can we go again to sign up for a Route Marketplace?
Well, first of all, I'll give you a link. So I'll give you a link to go to getroute.com. There'll be add to wait list. So we're doing a wait list right now. But if you fill that form out, I'm going to flag you. I'll follow up an email with you personally saying, hey, I see you now. As I get opportunities, I'm going to invite you. So getroute.com, add wait list. Definitely, you got to go follow Ricardo with Cleaning and Cocktails. He would shoot me if I didn't say that. So he's the goat on the cocktail side. As far as me, I'm on LinkedIn. We are doing my Jerry partner and I, that we do some consulting on the side. We are doing a live stream across X, YouTube, Facebook, and YouTube every Monday afternoon at 4:00 East Coast time, and then every Friday 11 o'clock East Coast time. And we're just taking 15 minutes. We're talking about one piece of the business, much like you do. And we're just kind of saying, hey, here's what we learned this week. So if you miss it, it's replayable. But I would say just come find me on LinkedIn, Jack Ellison. I think they call it Clean Jack or something like that is my nickname on that. But come find me, man. But I think we're all giving, we're all sharing, and we want to see everybody kind of take it to the next level.
I love it. I love it, Jack. And then what was that Instagram again as well?
I don't know my Instagram. Look up. Oh, the show's called Chasing Dirt. So you probably like that show. It's called Chasing Dirt. Gotcha. So look up the Chasing Dirt show on YouTube. Look up on Instagram. Find us. If you got questions, let us know. But we're going to try to bring some concepts, bring some guests to the table, and just kind of share some knowledge that we have from our perspective. And again, collectively, we're moving the industry forward, and hopefully everybody's kind of hitting their goals.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I want to thank you guys again for even coming and trusting, CBN with this opportunity and being a close friend with us as well. So appreciate you coming on, Jack. You killed it as always. I appreciate it.
No, a great opportunity. I appreciate what you're doing. Keep it up. And if I can do anything for you or your listeners, you got my email. Drop it over, man.
Let's do it. All right. Thanks, Jack.
Thanks.
Are you looking to start your own cleaning company? Or maybe you started your cleaning company, but you just need a support group, some mentorship, some guidance. Hell, a bidding calculator just to help you know if you're pricing the job correctly. Join us at cleanbiznetwork.app. That's www.cleanbiznetwork.app today and get on the right track with your cleaning company. We have everything you could possibly need to get you going in the right direction. And see why we've been the leading cleaning business consulting company for the past 5 years, and why they call me, AJ Simmons, the Cleaning Business Coach. So I can help you just like I've helped and my company has helped thousands of other people start and grow their cleaning companies. Go to the #1 source today, www.cleanbiznetwork.app. Thank you.